Welcome to The Economy. I'm your host, Ibrahim Sani. Today we look at urban development and trying to see how this ties up with our 13th Malaysia Plan. Very recently, a few months ago, we saw the launch of the Kuala Lumpur Development Plan 2040, or the Pelan Tempatan Kuala Lumpur 2040. It was launched by the Federal Minister as well as fellow dignitaries within the ambit of the Urban Landscape Development Project. In this conversation today, I have with me the Honourable Mayor of Kuala Lumpur, Datuk Seri Maimunah Mohd Sharif. Datuk Seri, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us. Yeah. The idea here is to see how the PTKL2040 is going to tie up with the RMK 13th. That is going to be kicking off 1st January soon. And we also understand that there's a lot of items that is within the transformation plan that we saw being launched very recently. Could you describe to us how important this type of program is when it comes to urban development and how we can see Kuala Lumpur to be the most livable city in ASEAN in the years to come?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today. And let me put the local plan of Kuala Lumpur 2042 into three perspectives. The first one is that in Malaysia, we have a very good planning system. Started with the RMK 13 or RMK 12, and then trickled down to the National Spatial Plan. Then we have National Urbanization Plan, National Industrial Plan, and then at the Kuala Lumpur level, we have Kuala Lumpur Structure Plan, and then trickle it down into the Kuala Lumpur Local Plan. Kuala Lumpur Local Plan is the lot-to-lot basis. And I would like to put forward here is that Pelan Tempatan Kuala Lumpur 2040 is not a DBKL plan per se. It is our plan. It is warga kota, I mean the people who are living in Kuala Lumpur's plan, and also the investors' plan. So meaning that this local plan is also created, you can see it as the guidance to guide development with all the principles like sustainable, resilient, leaving no one behind, city for all, and taking care of climate change. And at the same time, there's also a planning control, meaning that the do's and the don'ts. So we have around 176,000 plus lots, land lots in Kuala Lumpur, which is already identified what can be done, how much can you do, what is the density, what is the plot ratio. If the investors would like to come and invest in Kuala Lumpur, there's a ready plan. They can, if they want to buy a land, they know that this is the land, zone for residential, and the next door is zone for residential. It won't be, never be industry next to their development. So meaning that this is also a guide and also a control for development. It's very much linked to the RM13 and all the other national plans. So it's like translation of the national policy into the local level at the Kuala Lumpur level.
But because of that, who owns where's the ownership then? If it's not, say, for instance, the DBKL plan, is it at the Ministry of Housing, Ministry of Urban Development, or Ministry of Federal Territories? Somebody must own this mega plan.
Yeah, this local plan is, of course, developed or formulated by DBKL. But to me, it's owned by everybody, meaning that we are the custodian. We are the one whom that is any developer of anybody would like to submit development in Kuala Lumpur, they have to go through the process. We are the one who are the custodian, and we also to make a decision whether the plan or any new proposal for development can be approved or not. So meaning that in this case that PTKL 2040 is also custodian. We are the custodian. We have to make sure that we follow, because we are the local authority which approve or decline or reject any development or any proposal in the city. But the plan is for everybody. Let's say if you have a piece of land in Kuala Lumpur, you have to follow the zoning, the density, the plot ratio, whatever is translated or formulated in the plan. Because when we prepare the plan, we have gone through public participation. We have gone through a process in 2019. Go through the process, if I'm not mistaken, around 53 public engagement. We received 28,000 inputs from the public. So this is our plan. This is people's plan. But the custodian, the plan, of course, is belong to the PKL. We are the custodian, but actually to me, this is investment plan. Let's say if anyone who would like to go out of Malaysia to maybe for the business trip, please bring the local plan, because this is the plan, the deep plan that when any investors, anybody who would like to invest in Kuala Lumpur, they have to follow this plan as a guidance, and I say that is in a way that is to guide them, and also to as a plan to guide development, as also to control development.
Clearly, you are the woman of the hour. If anybody is to execute such a plan as this, it would be someone of your caliber. You were the executive director of UN Habitat. That was the last time we spoke together on air.
Right.
But a lot has moved on since. You were the mayor of Penang. Maybe a little bit of a test drive of what is to come, which is Kuala Lumpur. And you can benchmark the kind of the local plans that you are currently executing against that of many other cities around the world that you've seen. And with KL, there are a lot of uniqueness and challenges that is salient towards this city as opposed to other cities. But there are also many other similarities that KL has with other cities. In fact, when we talk about urban development plan, we talk about zoning laws and the like, these issues are seen in other cities as well. Where do you see the challenges lie when it comes to executing a plan, a long-term plan as this, as opposed to, you know, the short-term measures and trying to you know, maneuver the quick wins? Where is the I guess pitfalls that you're very concerned about, that you need to navigate very clearly and perhaps even communicate these kind of challenges to your stakeholders?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So that when I was in the UN, I have the opportunity to travel to a few cities, and in many of the capital cities in the world, they are also facing the same challenges and the same, more or less the same opportunities as Kuala Lumpur. I'm not from Kuala Lumpur, but after 1 year here, I realized that all the challenges and all the opportunities is common. For example, like if you look at Kuala Lumpur, meaning that is what is actually that in Kuala Lumpur we have the local plan, as you said, but this local plan we have gone through to many ministry. The ministry, all the Ministry of Environment, Transport was involved in the preparation, and then it's also all the NGOs and all the developers and all that involved in the preparation. So there are in the plan, there are areas where the Ministry of Transport, for example, they have to take up at the of course it's 2040, but they have to take up maybe the short term, the medium term, and the long term. Like for example, for the BKL, for example, we also, you can see from the plan that the things that under us, for example, like under our jurisdiction, for example, like in public spaces, we have our parks, and we are in control of our parks, and we are also in control of the public areas. So for example, there is mentioned there, by 2040, we hope to get, each of us will have 20 square meters of public spaces. So we need 4,700 hectares. And then from there, we are also looking into how can we walk within the Kuala Lumpur, seamless connectivity, walking like in other cities, like in New York, or like in Paris, or in London for that matter. So that is within our local government, within Kuala Lumpur, within the BKL. So what we did is that we have the Green Connector program, and for the 2025 and 2026, we look at the local plan and we extract what can we do within the short time. That's why we came up with 5 focus: plan-led development, and then in terms of inclusive community, green and clean and green, and another one is on the heritage, and the 5th one is on the governance. And we have 15 outcomes for 25 and 26. And now we are preparing for the budget 2026. So we use the local plan as a base. Where can we as a local government, as a DPKL, can implement. We extract it, for example, like public spaces, housing, affordable housing. We have the council housing, and also the Lestari Niaga. I mean, for the affordable hawkers complex that we are within us, and also for the pavement. And for smart city, we are also involved in the using AI innovations and all that. So each of us, actually, if you look at the plan, you can extract actually your under each ministry and each department jurisdiction, and you can plan for the 5-year plan or for the yearly plan. So I think it's very, very clear because the local plan is the implementation plan.
Sorry, I just need to go back to the statement that you said you're not from Kuala Lumpur. I think many of, I don't know the numbers, but I think 90% of Kuala Lumpur dwellers are not from Kuala Lumpur.
Yes,
We're from everywhere in Malaysia. And I'm sure that big cities around the world also have that kind of demography, but I think Kuala Lumpur has the most because of our, I would call it mid-range distance from other big cities in Semenanjung at least. And with the rise of East Malaysians coming over to find work and job opportunities here, clearly Kuala Lumpur is the melting pot of all this. And when you say that all these ministries are, you know, they can take a slice of their own jurisdiction and carry out their own yearly plan accordingly, your task of ensuring that each and every single jurisdiction, be it ministry or be it private companies who want to develop, whatever it is the stakeholders can be, it becomes monumentally important for you to keep track of what they take, and also, of course, and when I say take, keep track of what they want to execute according to the plan, and also perhaps nudge them accordingly to keep track according to the plan. And seeing that the Prime Minister is going to announce the budget in just a few weeks from now, I would assume much of the 2026 budget have been discussed and debated and everything is final at this point in time. Are you comfortable with the kind of conversations that you've had with many of these stakeholders in executing the plan on a year-to-year basis? So, for instance, for 2026, are you happy with the kind of things that the stakeholders that you are talking to and working with, are they at least going according to the plan, so to speak?
Yeah. What is formulated in the local plan actually is their proposal. Is the ministry, for example, like look at Ministry of Transport. They want to construct this road or monorail MRT, so MR3. So actually, what is translated or formulated in the local plan in terms of the proposal map and the strategy actually is input from them, because we don't know their proposal. So when we prepare the local plan, we have a task force. We discuss with them, what do you want to include in the local plan up to 2040? Actually, it's their input. So it's their role to implement the plan according to the input that they give it to us, because that proposal map or the local plan is a gazetted document. If you want to change, you have to go through all the process again. So meaning that, to me,
it's not just a strategic plan.
It's not a strategic plan.
It's more than that. It's gazetted as a law.
Because that is the third tier of the plan in terms of the planning system. As I mentioned just now, because we have a very good planning system in a way that we have the national spatial plan, the whole country, trickle down to structure plan only for Kuala Lumpur. Or maybe if other state, they have a Selangor such a plan. We have Kuala Lumpur such a plan. And then we have the local plan. We map up every lot in the Kuala Lumpur. We have the zoning. We have the guideline. We know the do's and the don'ts. So to me, it's their duty, because this is their input, for them to implement the plan. Because the public are involved. Public are looking. Hey, that time you say that you want to do this road, and you told us you want to do this connecting road for next 3 years. So make sure that you use that plan to ask for the budget for maybe one road, maybe it can be 3-4 years. So they started now. So I think this is, for example, that the many of the construction of road, and also for JPS, they want to deepen this river, they want to do this. So this is very stipulated very clearly in the proposal plan of the local plan in Kuala Lumpur. That's why from the beginning I said that this is not only the BKL plan, this is for everybody's plan. Even the developer, they have a piece of land. They have a chance last time during the public engagement. We plan to put it, let's say, plot ratio of 2. They have a chance to object. Oh, I don't want 2. I want 1 or I want 5. Then we have the jatan kuasa, the need to look into that. Yeah. The committee to look into that. So this is not only for the BKL, it's also for developer to when they want to submit the plan, they have to follow. And also for the government, where they want to apply for the budget to 2026, 2027, to me this is their plan. They have to follow this plan. So it's not so much that we have to enforce upon them, because when they want to develop, they want to construct the road, they have to go through us. Yeah. Because we are the one under the law is the authority to give the planning approval. Yeah. So if they would like to develop the road, suddenly it's not in the plan. Yeah. It's very difficult to get it approved unless you change the plan. And
conversely, if it's well within the plan, it should be straightforward.
It should be straightforward. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, we'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll discuss a little bit more with the Mayor of Kuala Lumpur to talk about a little bit more about tourism sector and how this falls into the 13th Malaysia Plan. We'll be right back after these messages. Thanks for staying on with us. I have with me the Mayor of Kuala Lumpur. Okay, without much ado, I want to move on to the second part of the conversation in terms of tourism of Kuala Lumpur. Synonymous with the name of Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur is the only city that many of the foreigners would know. I would like to argue that there was a particular study that was done by Travelpedia, that when it comes to brand recognition, Kuala Lumpur is much more known than the name of Malaysia. This is the bizarre thing about the branding of Kuala Lumpur. And you know, I would like to argue, you know, when it comes to sports, for instance, we have so many cities in Malaysia that have, you know, better sports brand recognition to their city as opposed to Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur FC, for instance, while good in its own right, is not like, say, for instance, JDT. When we talk about the Kuala Lumpur Literary Festival, it's there, but it's not as big as the Georgetown Literary Festival. I can go on with all this branding and name recognition. And I'm sure this is something at the back of your mind, being the Mayor of Penang and trying to see what works, what doesn't work, what could be the opportunities and so on. And then, of course, KL as a tourism center as well. Unmistakable, greatest malls, if not in Southeast Asia, perhaps in Asia altogether, no problems there. We've seen all the skyscrapers from, you know, 118 to TRX and, of course, the one and only KLCC. How do you see and transition from what we have to what we could be? And is this within that plan of the PT 2040?
Yeah, tourism is one of the areas I think that is need to be communicated well. As you know, yes, it's already known that where you're going to Kuala Lumpur, but how can we retain the tourists to stay longer in Kuala Lumpur? What can they do in Kuala Lumpur? That is also, as you said, that
and
is
spend.
one. And spend.
Yeah.
And stay and spend. So that is also a question. When I came in last year as a mayor of Kuala Lumpur, then I asked my colleague, said that, what is nice of Kuala Lumpur? Because when I was small, I said I came here, then it's Dataran Merdeka, then I went to Benteng for food. You know, that reminds me, you know. And then I said that I went to museum and all those places, Dataran Merdeka. So I said that what is actually that? Give me 3 things why people should visit Kuala Lumpur. So actually, the answer, I gather much of the answer when last month when I had the mayors ASEAN Mayors Forum. Yeah. And ASEAN Mayors and Governors Forum, 3 in 1. Then I and also ASEAN Governors and Mayors Capital City meeting, which I chair. And I asked the mayors who came, around 300 mayors came to Kuala Lumpur. I said that, do you like Kuala Lumpur? I said, yes, it's beautiful. What do you like about Kuala Lumpur? He said, Kuala Lumpur is clean and green. Okay. Then I said, clean and green? I said, yes. Your city is very clean and it's very green. Sometimes when we stay here, we take things for granted. I said, why you say it's green? Oh, I went to Botanical Garden, then I walked down to Dataran Merdeka, then I went to Titi Wangsa, I went to Tugu. I said that it's very green compared to other cities. Yeah. So I think there is a plus point that we need. And also what said is a lot of heritage, the diversity, the culture, the people. And they said that, oh, I went to Jalan Alo to eat, and then I went to shopping. So you have it all. He said that. You have it all. You have the green, you have the food, you have the culture. And he said that the city is clean and the people is very friendly. So I think this is also thing that we need to really make it into a package. And because I think that's the reason why the Yang Amat Berhormat Prime Minister launched the Warisan Kuala Lumpur, Kuala Lumpur Heritage in June this year, and around 20 square kilometer is just next to our areas, and that's why we spend some money on under Khazanah on the Bangunan Sultan Abdul Samad, Kalkosa, you know, and the Seri Negara, and we on our side on the Dataran Merdeka, and also the parking and the facilities. So I think tourism, one of the areas that instead of rather than just tourism to come here and eat, but it's also medical tourism, education tourism, because medical, I think that people come here because our medical facilities is very good.
You know, the strange thing about this, Datuk Seri, is that I have some friends from Indonesia. They equate Penang as the medical tourism. I don't know why or how. And you know, the two things that I don't commonly hear from Malaysians. Penang as a medical hub and Kuala Lumpur as seen as green. Even though you're right, I completely agree. We take things for granted. When you said that, I was trying to benchmark, say for instance, Bangkok and Manila and Jakarta. Okay lah, I wouldn't say Singapore. But yeah, of course, we're greener than these big metropolitan cities. Because of that, do you see it as important for that public-private partnership to come in place, and the relationship, say for instance, when it comes to medical tourism, the Ministry of Health also has to play a major role in this. Clearly, these are all monumental tasks, and to a certain degree, there's only so much that DBKL can do, but the baton has to be carried by other players as well.
Exactly. That's why I introduced the principle of 4P. Public, private, people partnership. Public is us. Public is the ministry. Private is private sector. We need to work with the private sector and the people. Without the people's participation or engagement, even though we have the money, we have the private sector, sometimes if you don't like it, they don't like it. So I think the 4P principle, public, private, people partnership is very, very important in Kuala Lumpur. Because as you said correctly, there are certain things that only we can do as the DBKL. So, but we need to galvanize, we need to encourage the private sector to work together with us. That's why I first thing that I came here to Kuala Lumpur, then I asked my colleagues that, get me the president of Malay Chamber of Commerce, Indian Chamber of Commerce, Chinese Chamber of Commerce. Do you have it? Oh, Datuk Seri, let me check. So I think it's not ready. So I already met all the Chamber of Commerce in one. I already met all the real estate. I already met the professional bodies, and I even have a breakfast, mayors with the ambassadors of all the ambassadors who reside here together with Invest Kuala Lumpur. So how can we work together with them? That's why we introduced the adoption project, meaning that the private sector adopt our public spaces, the private sector adopt our street, the private sector adopt our back lane, so that they are together. We are going to do like for Bukit Bintang, you know, in terms of lightings for the, and we are also, you see that is the big mural along on the way. That is all public, private, and we are also involved with the community on the urban farming, the food bank, the cleanliness.
You're giving me an impression that you're a mayor in a hurry, and you're a mayor that is having a very insatiable appetite to make things work. And for the first time ever, I'm telling you now, I believe that this is the most positive sign that I'm getting from a mayor. I've interviewed 2 mayors, your predecessors. They have not the slightest urgency in their tone. But with you, it seems like all the people need to catch up with you. Are they in the same journey with you, or do you feel that they can hurry up along as well?
Yes, they give me the full support, especially my people, the DBKL staff. I need to gain their trust. I need to lead. I need to show them the way. So I think that I am, well, thanks God, Alhamdulillah, that I received the very good cooperation from my own people. I have 9,400 staff. You see, there's a lot of things that can be done.
I'm sorry, wow. Okay.
9,400.
I didn't think it was that big.
Yes. And then I recently created one body called SPEED, SPEAD, Surveyors, Planners, Engineers, Architects, Developers. Because with them, I said that let us discuss how can we implement the local plan. This is your local plan. How can we implement the local plan? Let's work together. Then I also recently, yesterday, I went for the KLCCC Sustainable September. Then I call upon them, please, can all you in the KLCC, you are here, you are the CEO of all this big, can you work together with me? I said that I have a project called Green Connector. I want to connect, I said, TRX with 118, with KLCC, and also with the Dataran America, seamless, that you can walk, you can stroll your baby stroller, you can walk without any interruption, and nice. Then they said, yes, let's do it. Then next week I'm calling for a meeting. And I have also meeting with UOB CEO. I said, let's do something in front of our office. Your headquarters is
They're just here behind us.
Yes, and it's beautiful office. Then Miss Ang Wewe said, let's do it. And I already formed a task force. So we are now doing something. So I said that, yes, I am the mayor in the hari because I think that I have not enough time. I don't have time.
I'm sorry. I have to also ask this question, Datuk Seri. Last week you issued a statement to support DBKL being open, transparent, having high integrity. There was a case, or currently still happening, where the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission has taken action against very senior people inside DBKL. And while there are noises out there, I take it as good because this is exactly what we need. Right? You can't get the things done if your own situation and your own people are having some issues as well. And of course, in the 5 pillars that you spoke of just now, you spoke about governance being the key. So, corruption is one thing, or anti-corruption, and then trying to get the processes done to optimize operational efficiency is another. Then there is also legitimacy and mandate. Now, this is outside of your ambit. When it comes to local council elections or electoral mayor systems and the like, it is well within your powers. But what do you see, or what would you like to share when it comes to these kind of topics? That some are within your area of concern, some is outside. What's your general statement when it comes to these governance issues?
To me, is in order for any organization to excel, there are at least 3 things. One is leadership. Second is capacity. Capacity, it can be funding, it can be expertise. The third is governance. So when you talk about governance here, you talk about integrity. I always mention, integrity is not only corruption. Integrity, you come to the office, you do what you're supposed to do according to the SOP and according to the rules and the regulation. If you have to come and punch card at 8 o'clock, you have to come at 8 o'clock. If you have to do the work from 8 to 5 and there's a break 1 hour for lunch, do that. Because I used to tell them, if let's say your pay is 5,000 a month, divided by 30 days, how much is it? Divided by 24 hours, how much it is that you, the people, I mean the people's money, pay you per hour, per second, per minute. When you, at the end of the day, you think back, did I worth that much? Did I do something good? So I think this integrity is very, very important. Of course, corruption is one of it, but through that we can see in terms of good governance, we have to look into the very clear SOP, very clear rules and regulation. That's why I'm looking at all the SOP, and also we have a retreat, our administration retreat, looking at the SOP, looking at the regulation, and how can we strengthen, how can we plug the loophole if there is any, because some of them are very old garis panduan or guidelines and all that. So I think to me is like talking to them, and we also have, we are very lucky because we have the integrity department in DBKL. Not many local government have the integrity department. And,
is it manned by SPR?
The head is head by the SPRM officer. So I think we try our best. So, but when you mention about what things happen. That is why I said that I gave full cooperation to SPM for anything that they found in our office.
And you're very open about it.
Very open about it. I'm very open about it. In fact, during my first day, on the 15th of August last year, on the day itself, then I came in, 6 of the DBKL staff was charged in court of corruption. 6 of them on the day, on the very day.
Talk about an inaugurating moment for you entering the office.
Yes, and then one question asked by the reporter, I said, what is your stand on corruption? I don't know, because I'm only the first day. I don't know. So I said that zero tolerance. So,
but what about local council election, Datuk Seri?
Local council election, I think, for example, in the BKL, we have the Capital Act. If you want a local election, they have a long process. They have to amend the act.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the process, but the notion of it, the idea of it.
The idea of it, I think, is in many cities. In many cities, I've spoken to few cities who have the local election. There are pro and con. The first, he said that, okay, you have an election, and then people elect the mayors, and then the mayors are the choice of the people. But when on the other side, this is real story. He said that mayor, at that time I was in executive director of UN Habitat. When I asked, I said that executive director, I have to sell my house, I have to sell my car in order for me to have certain amount of funding, political funding, to be the mayor, to be into the system, to be elected, to be in the system of the election as a mayor. So meaning that there are also cases that I mean, it's a lot of what they call it funding, and when come to the election. So there are also sometimes that in when I was in the UN, I was wondering why the member states sometimes they reluctant to deal together with the local government. Because the local government is their opposition. Because, you see, opposition to the national.
Got it. I understand.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if it is let's say the government, if it is appointed, the national government have 5 years. So they appoint the people whom they think that they can work with, they can promote, implement their policy, something like
the Labour government in the UK, the city is run by, say, the Labour, but the National is a Tory party, and therein lies the issue. But all in all, do you support electoral mayorship, or you think that Malaysia needs to mature into it later?
To me, I have the opportunity to work in the UN and looking at that. I think that Malaysia, the present system, to me, it works well. It works well. And the only thing is that we need to implement what we preach, what we said.
Yeah, and PTKL2040 is one of the testament of that.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go for one short break. When we come back, we'll discuss about the main issue right now about Kuala Lumpur, which is trying to make this into a financial hub of the region. We'll be right back after these messages. Thanks for staying on with us. We're in this extended interview with the Mayor of Kuala Lumpur. The financial district of Kuala Lumpur is going to be the big topic of the day. Some of the names, some of the parties that you spoke of are very critical, including private banks, including the financial hubs that we have right now, TRX for instance, and many more. Do you see Kuala Lumpur talent is something of my ambit in my current workplace at the Ministry of Economy. That is completely understandable. But in terms of the infra and the facilities that is being provided, do you think that Kuala Lumpur has what it takes? In fact, what would be the additional factor that needs to be brought into place and within the powers of, say, for instance, DBKL and local government to make sure that Kuala Lumpur continues to be the unassailable champion of the financial services hub for this region, and perhaps even super scale what Singapore is trying to do right now? Because I think that would be the main competitor for us in this topic.
Yeah. I think from what I see that Kuala Lumpur have all the infrastructure to be the financial hub of financial sector compared to other cities. I think we have the infrastructure, we have the talent. I think what we need is that how can we galvanize, how can we improve further in terms of the infrastructure and also the talent that we have. Because it's in Kuala Lumpur, let's say you compare to other cities like in New York or in Singapore. So I think you look around, when I asked the same question to the mayors during the ASEAN Mayors Forum, they said that you have everything. So what we really need is that we really need to make it work. For example, we have the TRX 118, KLCC, and all the headquarters of bank, all the data center are here. So I think we are in the right. And for the BKL, our duty is that when these investors coming in, for example, the investor for the data center coming in, our duty is that how can we provide the enabling environment.
Yeah.
What enabling environment here is that how can they invest here fast? How can the decision of the planning approval can make it fast? Because for a business, every second, every day counts.
Yeah.
So the fast approval, that's why we embark into the One-Stop Center 3.0, OAC online, meaning that anywhere in the world, you don't need to come to DBKL to submit your planning application if you want to have to develop a data center here. You can be in New York. As long as you have internet, you can submit your plan and we can process. And we make it very clear that if all comply, we will do it in short time. So I think that is the enabling factor, approval. At the same time, it's also the infrastructure. And at the same time, we also become the facilitator. I used to tell my colleague, don't be a frustrator. We have to be a facilitator so that they can facilitate if they need. I'm
sorry, but DBKL has been a source of frustration for me at times.
Please.
Yeah,
I hope that you can see the changes
definitely.
Yes,
and I'd like to point out, right, it's been a year since you took office. Looking back these past 12 months, are you happy with your own progress? I'm asking you to self-criticize yourself right now. I think from an outsider, not many would have something poor to say about what your performance has been for the past year. But you yourself at your own standard, because just to remind everyone, Datuk Sri Maimunah is the first Malaysian to be elevated to the Executive Director Office.
The first Asia.
The first Asia, thank you. Let alone women. And every step of the way, you're always trailblazing. The first woman, the first Malaysian, the first woman, the first Malaysian, everywhere we go. And some of my colleagues from AWANI went to, I can't pronounce the word, in Poland.
Katowice.
Katowice, yes. And they were all at awe with how you held your ground there. And they tell me about it, right? Back in Bukit Jalil. And clearly you would be your own harshest critic, I would argue. And when the Prime Minister and the government appointed you as the Mayor of KL, everybody thought that you were overqualified for the job, I suppose, because of your pedigree. But looking back after 1 year, are you happy with yourself?
Yes, I'm happy within the environment that I am in. When I came in, I have my plan. But Allah is a big planner. On the third day I was here, banjir, flooding. It's the first test. On the fifth day, sinkhole. I have my plan.
Oh,
yes.
That was on the fifth day?
On the fifth day. On the first week, as a mayor, a sinkhole. I have my plan. I have a plan, what I want to do within the first week, second week, third week. It's very beautiful plan before I step into the DBKL on the 15th of August. But Allah said, okay, third you have to handle with the flood. On the 5th you have to handle with the sinkhole. But looking back within all this I said the environment that I'm facing and the situation, I'm happy. I'm happy with what I achieved, but I hope I can achieve more. But of course, there is also a limitation, and sometimes during the I would like to do more, but at the same time, when I was in the 2024, I'm implementing the budget which is approved by the previous mayor. I'm following through.
Yeah.
But 2025, I have my own way of dealing with the budget. Even that 2025, when I came in, is already halfway the discussion of the budget. But 2026, next year will be my own. This year will be my own.
And on top of that is the RMK13 as well.
Yes, RMK13. So I think within this limitation, within the environment, I'm quite happy with what I achieved. For example, like when you talk about the Prime Minister talking about Lestari Niaga, I managed to complete all those projects which was delayed, and then now people are already moved in. Talking about the Rumah Madani, and also managed to clear up all the backlog, and now is the Rumah Madani is under construction. In some will be completed end of this year, some next year, and also in terms of the backlog of the development control. When I came in, it was around 1,738 plans. Still, there is no decision. I managed to clear it up in December 2024. So I think that is, and also I came up with the five focus, and very focused, and 15 outcomes. Yeah. Very focused, and with all the KPI. Yeah. So I hope that by end of this year I can get all the result, and every 3 months I send my report to the Prime Minister, quarterly report. The first report. Now I just send between May to July reports to him, then I can share it with you. And what I'm very, very happy is that in terms of the funding, in terms of the financial situation, all the while 2022, 2023, all deficit. In 2024, when we close the financial statement, we are in the surplus of around 27 million. So meaning that is a
surplus of 27
surplus
million.
27 million. All before that is all deficit. 2022 deficit, 2023 deficit.
So this is what I'm saying. You might be overqualified for the job. I mean, I'm saying in a good way. You know what I mean? But the correlation and the interrelationship between the Prime Minister and the Mayor of KL, that's one thing, that's one role. Then there's also the Federal Territories Minister. I'm asking on behalf of Malaysians right now, is trying to understand the dichotomy between the roles and functions of all these ministerial powers. Where does the Federal Territories Minister sit in terms of the governance element and reporting element of the City Hall of Kuala Lumpur?
Yeah. I think the where the Minister of Federal Territories sit is very, very clear in the Act. In the Capital Act, because he's the minister, he is looking at the policy. And another one of the section, I cannot remember, I think section 13, where they said that the minister of the Federal Territory, they handle the policy level, and there is also that they can give instruction to the mayor, and the mayor have to implement it. So I think this is very clear where is the
and it's not just the Mayor of Kuala Lumpur, it's the Mayor of Federal Territory, also PJ, Putrajaya, as well as Labuan.
And Labuan and Putrajaya. It's very clear in the Capital Act. Of course, for Putrajaya, they have their own act, but as far as DBKL, it's very clear, stipulated very clearly. Yeah.
Okay, final question to you, Datuk Seri, is the perennial problems of flood mitigation. You were talking about that as well earlier on, environment issues and many more. I know these problems, these environmental issues and making Kuala Lumpur green and all this is an ongoing story. But of all the things that you have on your CV, I trust you the most because of UN Habitat. Are we too far away from getting Kuala Lumpur free of floods, or do you feel that we're nearly there in terms of flood mitigating in Kuala Lumpur?
On flood mitigation, when I came in, there are around 30 flood hotspot. End of 2024, left 20.
Okay.
And I told my colleague, by end of 2025, I want it to reduce into 10.
Okay.
By next year, maybe reduce more. So I'm not sure, maybe you are out there, maybe you can see that it's last time when we heavy rain, it was always flooding. But now, it's not me who said that, but it's the people who came to see me, and also through social media, they said that even now it's heavy rain, we seldom see flooding, very, very heavy flooding. For example, like last time in October, 28th October last year, I was in my office, heavy rain. At that time, Parliament, they cannot go into the Parliament. But now, heavy rain, you can go there. So meaning that I'm thankful to the national government, the federal government, they gave me 80 million for the flood mitigation. 20 million last year, 2024, and 60 million in 2025. And we're implementing it. Flood mitigation, we're also doing, working together with SW Corp and Alam Flora, working together with JPS, which I said the integrated approach, to see that how can we reduce the flooding in Kuala Lumpur. And I'm very, very confident that with all this flood mitigation, not only by DBKL, by SW Corp, by cleaning up the river, and also by JPS deepening the knee, and by putting up the flood wall and all that, I believe that we can reduce the occurrence of flooding in Kuala Lumpur. And
Does all these things that we discussed are seen or discussed in the Urban Renewal Act, the one that was postponed in the Parliament? And are you involved in that conversation?
I involved at the later stage because it was discussed much earlier before I joined DBKL. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Datuk Seri, for taking the time to speak with us. We discussed a lot of issues.
Thank you.
But we would like to have you again maybe next year to talk about the progress of PTKL.
Yes.
If you want to learn more about the work of Datuk Seri Maimunah, there's a lot of conversations that can be found on her on our site at astro.com. You can also find out more about the work of DBKL also on our site, especially with the upcoming ASEAN summit that's going to happen very soon. But for now, we take a break on this and continue on with the following programs. Catch you in the next one.